The broadcast is live. Okay, first of all, for those of you who try to hop on at noon and I wasn't here, I apologize. I'll just say it's been a pretty intense morning, which is the topic for today. It's kind of like what happens when things don't go the way you expect them to? What if you don't get your own way? It's like that. So I'm just coming right off a fresh experience to do today's broadcast. So the issue today is sorry, I'm now handling something else. That's how it is, like 13 things going on all at one time, right? So I'm just going to say my life is just kind of like right now. And I thought I was coming into a much calmer week. Things have been so revved up lately between getting everything ready for courses, leading courses, nose diving into the pilot for the fifth and final part of the curriculum called Ascension, which is a program in and of itself. It's a 9-month program, and did the pilot for the first weekend a few weeks ago, and then turning around 2 days later, 3 days later, and flying to Las Vegas for a national conference where I was teaching 2 classes and moderating a panel. And it's an environment I'd never been in before. And it's funny because I thought when I was going there that like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited / nervous, really more scared, just plain scared. It's clearly a national platform, but it's a national platform with an organized institution of national recognition. And that's different from me doing a nationwide broadcast because I've broadcast to thousands of people and all at the same time. I know this won't be thousands today, but it has been, and during the pandemic, it was like between 1,000 and 2,000 people almost every single day for a while. Okay. Let's see what else. So today's events included, amongst other things, the admin team coming in to put together the materials that I printed out for them to put into the folders for the participants for this weekend's workshop. Excuse me. And I forgot to print out, I don't know, 4 different things that I did not print out. A couple of things that I changed, which are good that they are changed, but so I did not fully, just can't get good help these days. I guess I did not fully do my job. And I really need to look at this with humble pie. I definitely expect people to do everything thoroughly, all together and have excellence. And I try to do everything I do that way. And obviously, given the printing job I just did yesterday, I sometimes fail. I'm not always 100% of everything always. So that's one piece. Then this morning, I am having to change the carpeting in one of the smaller bedrooms upstairs. And the men who are it's all men who were installing the carpet, we're supposed to be here by 9 a.m. or around 9 a.m. and they didn't get here till 10:20. That is the biggest reason why I'm late. But it included that they got here and then they took the thing, like the bedspread, and just kind of heaped it up on the shelf in the closet, and the bed skirt. They literally, one guy balled it up and put it aside. I'm like, why would you treat people's things this way? And so it's like, was not happy. And then they wanted me to pay before they did the job, which is the company policy. So I ended up making a call. And I realized in the middle of this, I could be just really angry through all of this. And I wasn't pleased, but I really wanted it handled. What I wanted was just simply to have my home, the things in my home, handled with respect. And that is a way that we have of showing respect to ourselves and to others. So at the end of all of this, 2 of the 3 gentlemen who were here, the carpet looks great, by the way. They wanted to use the powder room. They needed to use the powder room. And so one did, and then later another one did. And as that one's coming out, the toilet seat is up. Actually, the toilet seat is up. It's left for a man. And he hadn't washed his hands. And I only know because I was like literally standing in the kitchen, which is the adjacent room. And I couldn't help not knowing that. So I couldn't not know that. I couldn't help but know that. And so he comes out and I was like, could you please put the toilet seat down? And he looks at me and I said, the toilet, manage the toilet. He goes, what's wrong with the toilet? Like, oh my God. I said, have manners and put the toilet seat down. So he goes back in and he comes back, it's a step into a small powder room. All right. And he steps in, closes the toilet, steps out. I said, and wash your hands. And he looked at me and he suddenly became like 3 years old. It was kind of cute. But for me, he'd already touched the doorknobs and the toilet and the whatever with his just having gone to the bathroom, not washed hands. So I was managing that, signing the papers for the carpet, putting things back into that bedroom, cleaning the bathroom, and ta-da, I'm a little late. So that is what happened. But the emotional piece of what happened is what I really want to address. I was absolutely perturbed. I was aggravated, irritated, agitated, annoyed. I wasn't like a screaming Mimi about it, but I was really, really not okay with it. And I realized that everything that I was not okay with, it was simply that it didn't meet my expectations. So who can we be? I will turn this into the me part. Who can I be? But then who can you be when expectations are not only not met, but really fail to manage the job? I mean, they were going to put down the padding for the new carpet without cleaning up the scraps from cutting up and tearing out the old padding. I was like, no, you got to clean this room first. And at that point, I actually started laughing. I really did. In fact, with the bathroom, with the second guy, I realized this is like a little child, and I started laughing. But the piece that was there is then I needed to handle it in a way that was responsible for my sense of integrity, okay? Which meant using a disinfectant spray for the room. I use I'll just do a shout out to 7th Generation and to Melaleuca. They use cleaners that use an extract from the oleoresin of thyme, and it is as effective as doing bleach, but it doesn't scramble your brain. So it's literally 99.9% kills all bacteria and viruses. So I do it, like kind of a holistic way. And that's clean the bathroom, did my citrus spray, everything's good, but I'm late. And I noticed that everything got compromised. What started off as being out of integrity for me, that quote unquote looks like it's from other people, in this case, the carpet guys, ended up being out of integrity with me, that I was out of integrity, like starting this podcast 20 minutes late. It would be so easy to just blame the carpet guys. Hearing this tale, hearing this little saga, I mean, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you go, well, it's their fault, don't worry about it? But actually, Life 101, who's responsible for your life? It's you. Who's responsible for my life? It's me. So if I am 100% responsible for my life, I have to own that I'm the one who got on the phone with the company to complain about these guys and the way they treated my things, and saying that I would be happy to pay the bill after the fact. But, having this little back and forth, completely dignified, but back and forth with the gal on the phone over at the company's, like, whatever their phone bank is, and ending up talking to a supervisor, of course, and finding that supervisor took the payment over the phone rather than I was like, I'm not paying. These guys are slobs. I'm not giving them my credit card. It's like, I'll pay you over the phone. But she said, I can do that. And I said, great. So I paid her, or I paid the company, but over the phone. And she actually told them, she let me know what she told them was about treating the things in this home with respect and doing a really neat and clean, perfect job the first time around with this job. So I'm sure she doesn't, for a couple $100, I don't think they want me barking at their door again. But I realized that I'm the one who's out of integrity. And if I'm out of integrity, things show up that are also out of integrity. So now I get to look at Life 101, who's responsible for your life you, who's responsible for my life me. What is out of integrity that shows up around me? If I'm 100% responsible for my life, then I'm also responsible for all that happens in my life. Boy, doesn't that sound like a big wallop of who thinks that they should be 100% responsible for all of it, right? But if nobody is out there, and in fact, there is no out there, then you and I are the all of it, the up of it, the down of it, the here of it, the there of it, the now of it, the then of it. We are the him and the her and the them and the us. We are the tree and the root and the ground and the soil in which the tree grows. We are the leaves on the tree. We are also the wind that blows the leaves off, or the lightning that strikes the tree dead. We are the wood that gets fired in the fireplace, burned in the fireplace, but we are also the toy wooden sword that gets made for a child. It's the good and what we consider bad or consider good. It's the all of what there is, that which you condone, that which you condemn, that which you celebrate, that which you decry. We could get into politics. I like this politician. I can't stand that politician. That person scares me. That person needs to be put in a box. Okay. Whatever it is that you have, that's always going to be one side or the other side. It's good, it's bad. It was bad that these gentlemen were late. It's good that they did a good job. It's bad that they weren't cleaning up without me telling them. It's good that they felt free to ask to use the powder room. It's good that they went to the bathroom and took care of their biological needs. It's bad the way they treated my space. We could do good and bad all the way through this and have lots of opinions about it and have lots of feelings that come as a result of those opinions. But all of that is inside of binary thinking. And as long as you and I are in binary thinking, as long as that's what's going on, we're doomed. We will be struggling to punch our way out of that paper bag. There is, in fact, a point zero, a neutral point, a balance point between the yin and the yang that includes both and doesn't lean more one way or the other. It's just the balance point, the pivot point, the bindu, the universal and the individual. All that is and one. So that lands all of us in being flow, in that neutral zone, that point zero, that pivot point. Once we actually land there and find our balance on the tip of a pin, it opens up this vast universe of being that's it's an unlimited spectrum in all directions. And it clearly renders that which we already know as incredibly limited. It is the space of limitlessness, of eternity, of foreverness. It is the space of just being. And that, my beloveds, is really what we're here, not just to learn intellectually, but to be. It's how to be and learn and be. Breathing in and breathing out, day in and day out. And the quietness that's there is indescribable. But the joy is exponentially blasted open. It's a whole other matrix of happiness and love, peace and tranquility, health and healing. And that's available for all of us. So it did take me a hot minute to get there today. But once there, it all just became kind of endearing in a way. All right. That is what I have for talking. I'm open to, I think I'm on the wrong, I don't know what you call it, column here. Okay, Bill says, my quote unquote normal way of handling a series of disappointments / compromises / things not matching my standards is to lower my standards. But that leaves me resigned. Yeah, I bet. Even cynical. That does no one any good. Those times when I try to maintain my integrity, I struggle with coming from love. It usually looks like coming from force or a complaint. I have so much further east to go. That's great. What an amazing comment. I can tell you that I couldn't find the cleaner I normally use for cleaning the bathrooms, but I was like, wait, I know there's another cleaner under here. Somebody else has it somewhere else in the house they're cleaning up right now. And I found this other cleaner and it was like, oh, this is perfect. This is more perfect. But that I don't think was an available option until after I realized what, just completely how off center I was, and that all there was to do is to return to this 0.0 or neutral or focal point or I don't know, pivot point. I think we might call it P squared, pivot point. And just then it was cleaning the bathroom. And to start with, it was like cleaning. The first thing I wanted to do was clean the doorknobs. And so clean the doorknobs. And it was like I wanted to have a reaction. There was an echo in my whole system of wanting to go like, ew, and ick, and yuck, and oh, and I got to clean this, and something along those lines. But it actually wasn't what was there. It was more like an echo in my cells from I don't know how many years of how many times of having gone that direction in my being, but that's not what was really there. And what was there, it was like in no time flat. It was like smelling the time, appreciating that oleorescent of time, and really just falling into the frankly zen of cleaning the bathroom and making sure everything was clean. I cleaned places I hadn't cleaned before. It all went very quickly. I don't think I've ever cleaned a bathroom so fast in my life, but it was, this includes the floor and everything. I don't know. I just went super fast, and that's not what held me up, by the way. So I just would invite you to notice kind of what you said, Bill, is that when somebody is doing or saying something that doesn't match your standards, you lower your standards. And I would invite you to go back to your standards, but I don't know that I would call them standards. I think I would call it integrity. What has integrity for you? So what has integrity for me is that anybody using the powder room, for example, is able to walk into a spotlessly clean room so that they feel comfortable in it. Not because I'm like particularly OCD, but because I think when it's dirty, people are uncomfortable. Me too. And I actually don't like it dirty. I don't. And it doesn't feel healthy to me when it's dirty. So, having it clean, but then having this extra, mile, as it were, of cleaning because I had observed that it went in a way that really was, back from a bacterial point of view, compromising. The guy who did that, he's not going to be the one to clean the room. He's leaving my house. He's going to the next installation for another carpet for somebody else's place. Here, this is my home. It is the bathroom that is offered to the people who I feel privileged and honored to have in my home. And so this room is one of the places for their comfort. Okay, so it takes care of the people I love who come in my home, and it takes care of me. And I think, given that we have this sympathetic vibrational frequency, it also takes care of the world. I mean, this guy where I said to him, wash your hands. It's like, honestly, he was like instantly transported to being a 3-year-old, maybe 6. I'm not sure. Just one very little boy. And it made me laugh, but that's probably going to stick with him. I don't know for how long, but it's there. And it gives a vibe in the world, because it could have been done with like, oh, you're disgusting, clean your hands, ah! Or it could have just been like this amused, mother kind of energy of go wash your hands. So it could also have been, have you washed your hands, and let him come to that awareness for himself. And Billy says, I can get the difference between standards and integrity. I can stand in 0 point coming from integrity. Can't do that from standards. Yeah, exactly. Brilliant. Exactly right. Right on, bro. Okay, let's meditate. So find yourself in a nice, yummy, comfortable position. Bill, thank you for the comments. Great comments. I think some of today is going to be in silence. So if you think I've stopped because I'm not talking, what I've done is stop talking, but that doesn't mean that we're done. So let's see what we can get done in a timely fashion. So if you wear glasses, you take them off, right? And make sure that your body is well supported. Make sure that your body is warm and not too hot. I'm going to do the same thing. And because I'm going to join you in this meditation. And make sure that you have your body parts well supported. And if you don't have a way to brace your head and neck, then make sure that you are comfortable with your head going down, or find a way to support behind it. I will probably just scooch over this way a little bit. Oops. I love my water bottle, you guys. Just saying. It's like the best water bottle. It's a 64-ounce water bottle. Makes me so happy. This water bottle. It's big. It's almost as big as I am. Okay. I would like you to, before we get started, really in your cognitive brain, to identify someone where you have been, where you feel compromised, where you feel like your integrity has been compromised by somebody else. And it's their fault that something went awry. Because in the end, it was my responsibility to make sure when I got that, I'm responsible, swinging that back around, Life 101, then it was my responsibility to make sure that they cleaned the room properly before laying down the new carpet, that the new carpet got laid down properly, that, or if it's the bathroom, that the bathroom's clean. This is my life. And it doesn't mean that it's up to me to do it all. I didn't clean the bedroom from the old carpet stuff, but I asked them to, and they did. So it's still, if you can hear that, it does not mean that you do all of the doing. It means that you're responsible for all of the doing getting done. So, okay, I think that's that. All right, so locate in your mind, either your mind's eye or your mind, one scenario where you can identify one person. There could be a group of people, but single out one who did or said something that was clearly in diametric opposition to your integrity. Somebody who promised to get things done and didn't. I think that's it. Just notice what you think about it and notice what you feel about it. Take a deep breath in. As you take that deep breath in and you give that deep breath out, follow your breath. Follow your breath in. Going past every norm in what you can expect. Just let it all go. Begin to become aware of what you have in the location of wherever you are. And as you follow your breath in, go into your own consciousness, bringing yourself into the eternity that is within you, behind and part of every single cell you have. Notice that when you breathe out, your breath goes out to universal consciousness, bigger and wider, grander than you've ever known before. Allow yourself to go further than you ever have. Allow yourself to recognize that you are the Bindu. You are the pivot point through which universal consciousness and energy comes into a being. That being is you. You are the pivot point through which individuality, uniqueness, is the pinpoint. You are a trading post where individuality becomes universality, and universality becomes individuality. You. It's so easy to somehow twist and turn these events into why me, or basically damn the perpetrator and live on some small manufactured pedestal of your rightness. Allow yourself to feel the balance in the pivot point that you truly are. Take a deep breath in. Give a deep breath out. And gently open your eyes. And notice how you think and how you feel about the person or the situation you identified before. When you're in neutral, pivot point, focal point, everything else is too. That's it for today. I love you. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to spring.